and welcome back to Shiny Hunting. Yep, we're back with the OSHAWOTT Shiny Hunt. I'm hoping today we get the Shiny, but I'm also not counting on us actually getting it, because OSHAWOTT is slightly turning into a shoe. But we're going to be using egg power to sort of speed things up. Let's get going. Let's go, everyone. How's everyone doing, though? Hope you guys are all doing pretty well. I certainly know that I am. And thankfully checked my stuff beforehand for the auctions. Nothing good. So we're basically just going to be running circles around the entire region until we find either another shiny or we, hatch all of our eggs. But how's everyone doing today, though? Hope everyone is doing delightful. Because I know I am. Hello there, Mr. L. Hope you're doing delightful. What just pinged me? What pinged me? Oh, okay, that's why I was pinged. Ah, yes, the battle server. Yeah, Happy Hill's going live. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, I had a feeling it probably was that. Never mind that. It's, there's just a server. I'm basically as the battle, assistant for there. You're not collecting all those energy ball things. It sure annoys me a lot. Mudkip, I collected all of them off screen. I collected all the spheres off screen specifically because of reasons. I'm doing very well. I'm actually doing very well. I've been a little bit ahead when it comes to recording. So Splatoon 3 is all finished recording. Editing is pretty much finished. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, finished with the main story of that. Need to just finish working on Magolor Epilogue, but even then, it's going to be probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we actually get into the part where it starts uploading Magolor Epilogue, and I'm already, over halfway finished with Magolor Epilogue. So, the only 2 things I'm, not ahead on is needing to go finish more stuff in A Link to the Past, because that is one series that I strategically didn't continue A Link to the Past, specifically because, okay, we know Tears of the Kingdom's coming out. I'll do more Tears of the Kingdom stuff. I'll do more, A Link to the Past stuff when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is getting closer to the Tears of the Kingdom things. So, we're gonna do that. Hello, Lunala. How are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're doing delightful. Wrong thing. 5. There we go. But yeah, we're just hatching some more of our MASUDA eggs for this. Hope everyone is doing delightfully delightful. Yeah, I really do hope that we can get some of these eggs and get our shiny soon, because I would like to get back to doing actual shiny hunts for 2 reasons. The big one is I get more shiny reactions by doing that, which means more shorts I can upload, which is good for the channel. But also, I just kind of want to, not hatch eggs, so... But yeah, it's not going to be fun. Wouldn't move a level until... one of them. I'm going to move on with a level until I got them doing delightful. Thank you. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, I know a couple of people who do the same thing, and I did think of doing the same thing with that Mudkip. Where it's okay, I just don't move on until I get all the spheres. No, we cannot do an anime time skip to the 12th, Mudkip. We can't skip to the 12th. Not yet. I'm doing very well, though. I'm doing very well. And again, guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Not certain how long today's stream is going to be. Again, we did get a bit of a late start on the stream. I still haven't fully hammered out what in the heck my Tuesday schedule is going to be when it comes to streaming, because I have a voice call with my dad earlier in the day. So, from, after dinner to, about 8:30, I have a voice call with my dad. And that kind of overlaps with our usual streaming time of, 7:15 to, 9:30-ish. And doing stuff really, really late in the night is just not very good. Not a lot of not a whole lot of people are online. You know, of course, you know, from like, you know, that time to, you know, relatively late in the night, because, you know, people going to go sleeping, you know, because of course, you know, school tomorrow. Birthday is irrelevant. The kingdom is more important. Oh, I agree with you, Mudkip, 100%. I 100% agree with you. My birthday is not irrelevant. Is not relevant. Oh, yeah, isn't the Mario movie coming out tomorrow? Yeah, I think the Mario movie's coming out tomorrow. Interesting. Yeah, look how like the West Province thing popped up right as the egg hatched. I've actually like given a fair amount of thought to like what we're gonna do with Tuesday when it comes to the streaming schedule. And I've floated every idea to myself, from streaming earlier in the day like we used to at like, you know, 11, to streaming at 2, to streaming at 1, to actually not even streaming during, to not even streaming on Tuesday, to like, you know, just trying to figure out a schedule for it. But the thing is, like, none of the answers come up good, because like, well, that was, yeah, it's kind of an awkward thing. It's like, okay, if I don't stream on Tuesdays, that throws off the algorithm entirely, which like bones the channel, you know, for the next several days. And then by the time it gets back on track, well, it's going to be Tuesday again, which throws things off, and just basically the constant like vicious cycle. Or do a thing later in the day when it can't be that long. Can we delete Tuesday? Sure we can. We can delete Tuesday next week, Mudkip. I agree with that. But also, yeah, so my birthday is also in 2 days. And we are going to be actually going back to an old hunt for that one. So yeah. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. But yeah, I really think that we should, we'll probably be hopefully getting Samurott quickly. 2 days of shiny hunting it. Yeah, I think realistically, we should be able to get Samurott, the entire Samurott family shiny, before the next Terra 7 raid boss. I think we can do that. Because I'm still anticipating the next level 7 Terra raid boss is going to be Typhlosion. Like, I think it's going to be that. For one major reason. Home compatibility, and they've been doing a trend of the other Hisuian like, starters for a while. Oh, Mudkip, that's literally what we always do every year. My birthday generally falls pretty close to Easter almost every year. And it just kind of is a little bit of a problem. Like, okay, well, when can we celebrate my birthday? We can't really celebrate it on the actual day. So what we always do is, okay, we'll just, like, kick it down, basically kick the can down a week. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just, like, celebrate a week after. It's literally what we do every single year. Because, yeah, that's kind of the issue about my birthday frequently falling near Easter. Can't go out for dinner. Pretty much Good Friday happens, like, a lot of the time. So it's like, it literally, that is what we have to do every single year. So we're already, like, 20 steps ahead of you. Like to shiny Fennekin. I'm not sure when they will actually do the Fennekin family. I think that Fennekin's probably going to come back with the DLC. But I'm not sure when they'll do actually Fennekin as a Terra raid boss, because I know a lot of people were thinking they'll do, they'll bring home out when they've done the most popular Terra raids for the Terra raids for the most popular starters of every gen. Problem is, even with the accelerated Terra raid rate they've been doing, where they've been doing about 2 a month, that still has 3 more gens have yet to have their starters. Which means we're pretty much in that case looking at June for the release of Home, which they're just not going to do because that's literally halfway through the year. And they said it's going to be early 2023. So it's not likely we're going to get, we're likely going to get it soon. Never mind, it's been delayed to April 2nd. Okay, Mudkip. Good to know. My birthday has been delayed until literally the reset of the universe. Sounds delightful. But yeah, it's like I have a feeling that they're going to be adding home compatibility probably within the next week or so. So I know a lot of people think it's going to come like tomorrow. I think it's going to probably be coming. Probably going to be coming like this week or next week. We're not going to get it like soon. It's kind of annoying how yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like again, they didn't wait this long for Sword and Shield, which is weird. No question. How the hell do we? I don't know. I mean, no. It's just that's when the universe is gonna reset, Mudcap. It's just that universe goes through the entire universe cycle, and then it re-crunches back, and then it re-explodes again because of the Big Bang, and then we get back to about about 2 years after World War II ended, and then we celebrate my birthday. Well, we already know when the DLC is coming out. We know it's gonna be in summer, and we know it's gonna be in fall. So we probably got like 3 months. Even then, like summer is a vague time span. Probably it's more like 3 months away until we get the first part of the DLC. And then the next one's going to be in fall. But since the pre-order thing of the pre-order Zoro arc expires on the 31st of October, that makes me think that the DLC, the second part of the DLC, is going to release November 1st. So, I think July 1st might be the most reasonable time that we will get the first DLC portion released. And then the second part, I think, is going to come out, you know, like, November 1st is probably when that's going to come. Because I don't realistically see them having the DLC having a pre-order bonus, and then, you know, an early order bonus, not really a pre-order bonus, but like getting the DLC early, then having a gap between the end of that and then the release of the DLC. Because then there's just no incentive at that point for people to get the DLC until they see what the DLC has. Which is why I think we're probably going to get November 1st. Exactly, we got to have Father Pucci just restart the entire universe. With that, okay, that is like the, okay, I was about to say that was like the one thing about Stone Ocean I don't like. But then I was like, no, there's a few things about Stone Ocean I don't like. One of them is like, that makes us like, oh yeah, no, we stopped Father Pucci from doing this. Oh yeah, no, I figured out a way of doing this even without the thing that I needed to do. It's like, no, you're literally just completely bullshitting everything. What's the serious question, that dude? What is this serious face question? I look forward to the DLC as well. I'm eagerly awaiting it. But how you doing, that dude? But yeah, I think that the DLC is gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. I'm still glad that they've decided to go in the direction of DLCs instead of having a third version of the game, where the third version is 95% the exact same game, but it's full price games. Like, I like these games, but I'm not gonna spend like, you know, $120 for both versions of the game, then spend another $60 to get the next third version of the game, which is 95% the same. It's like, we love Platinum, we love Emerald, but they're basically the exact same game. The differences are like a coat of paint. And it's like, is that really worth full price? Probably not. Pretty sure Pucci purged himself from the new timeline. No, he didn't purge himself. It's because he was killed in the new timeline that he created. Made in Heaven's ability resets universes. So, when he was killed, it reset the universe. And if you are killed in the previous universe, it resets you into not existing in the next one. It's really, really stupid how Father Pucci's, like, again, the entirety of the end of Stone Ocean is the biggest asshole of just shit not making sense. Because, like, him getting killed undoes that he wiped everyone else from the timeline. So it makes freaking no sense. I saw that, John. Nice work. So I haven't seen any of the Pokemon look like Shiny of the Legends and the DLC. Yeah, I don't even know what they look like either. I've seen like the stuff from like the trailers they showed, but other than that, I haven't seen anything. But yeah, it's like there's some interesting things about Stone Ocean. One of them is like it just doesn't make sense. Like towards the end, it's like it hurts your brain to think about Stone Ocean. Again, entertaining series. I thoroughly enjoyed Stone Ocean, but shit towards the end does not make sense. Though I do like who they gave the boss kill to. They gave the final boss kill to the character you would not expect, and I like that they did that. It kind of brings the entire series like full circle in a way. Need to rewatch JoJo, but I gotta finish it. Okay. Yeah, I did a full rewatch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a few weeks ago. Like probably 2 months ago. I enjoyed it a second time through. It was very, very entertaining. But like, man, they do some ass pull stuff in that series, and I kind of like it. Plus, again, it's just like seeing all the memes again. It's like, see, now I know like all the memes. Cue my jaw dropping. Exactly, Foxy. Exactly. Also, guys, again, do not forget to check out our most recent post on the channel page. We are doing an Out of Context Maxis compilation. And you are the ones that are going to be submitting the Out of Context moments. What's better, Sudowoodo or Serena? Suda gets rock, head smash, wood hammers like a punch, rock slide, with quick punch. Depends on for what purpose, that dude. One is not strictly better than the other. We're gonna get in the cute charm. Can't seem to get it. Hello, Happy. How have you been, you happy bean? There's a shiny charm glitch? There's a BDSP shiny charm glitch? Did not know that was a thing. But yeah, if you guys haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Oh yeah, sorry, just was messaging a little bit of a friend of mine. Basically, there's been some massive sub-bots lately, where it's basically your channel just spontaneously explode by like thousands of subscribers, and cute charm, not trying that isn't a glitch. Cute charm is not actually a glitch. It's that personality value and shininess are actually connected back in those games, and cute charm forces certain personality values. The other thing is that setting up a cute charm shiny hunt thing is actually very, very difficult, Happy. Because there actually is, like, for all of the massive boost that cute charm can actually give you for shiny hunting, there's also the very, very realistic possibility that it actually makes it even harder to hunt shinies. So, it's one of those things where it's a bit of both ends. So your opponent gets clean match, you had jump kicks in it, but punch, that's okay, bounces. Yeah, and it depends really on the whole team. It really depends on like the entire team, like what Pokemon you're running alongside it. I would lean more to Serena over Sudowoodo, mostly down to Sudowoodo's relatively limited utility outside of those huge power recoil moves. But even then, like, Serena has semi-been replaced by Armor Tail Farigiraf. But I still prefer Serena more because Farigiraf can get easily bodied because people are expecting Farigiraf. They're not expecting Serena. It's fairly easy to set up, dude. It's also... Really? Eleanor, because I was talking with one of my friends who's like, he's a very, very big shiny hunter. He's not like a streamer shiny hunter, but he's one of the that actually got me into shiny hunting. And I told him about, I had the idea to do a cute charm shiny hunt thing, and he said, like, setting up a cute charm shiny hunt is very, 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 very difficult. I've never seen HXH, Mudkip, so I can't give you one. Yeah, it's more of an exploit. Because, like, it's a okay, granted, a glitch is fundamentally the game behaving in a way that it is not intended to behave. But this is the way the game is intended to behave. Cute Charm is intended to force certain personality values on certain Pokemon when you have, the Cute Charm applied. The game is doing what it is supposed to do. It's just that we are using that for a peripheral benefit, because of the fact it can force things into being shiny, because it specifically only allows these specific personality values to be rolled, giving a higher shiny odds. So it is more of an exploit than it is a glitch. Cute Charm shiny hunt. As in, like, using Cute Charm to force the personality values to be shiny. Because remember, back in Generation 4, shinies were tied to the personality value. And, like, the idea I had was to actually do a shiny hunt, like, get a file of, like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, like one of those games, and do a Cute Charm shiny hunt, like, thing in it. Like, basically, like, to use the Cute Charm exploit to hunt. Welcome in, Brent. How you doing? But yeah, I remember my friend saying, like, it took a lot more than just, like, a reset of the game over and over and over and over again to actually get the Cute Charm thing. Which is why I kind of didn't do it. Oh, wrong thing. But, yeah, it was one of those things where I thought about it. He kind of told me, like, it's not as easy as it sounds. And I don't remember the exact conversation we had, because it was, like, this was probably, like, 4 or 5 months ago at this point. And, it was like, okay, this seems like it would be a lot less practical than it kind of seemed to be at first. I hope we get it before then, but that would be very nice if we can get it at that, Brett. I would just like this thing to shine soon. Especially after the shoot that Greninja's been. Rowlet's gone over odds, but, like, Rowlet, you can go over odds because the other two were very, very under odds. So you've earned that. You try from glitch I'm working on is manipulate RNG with certain ID for the start of the game at a certain time, dude. Okay, that is not at all what we were talking about. Okay, so that is a completely different thing than what I was. Okay. My favorite Pokemon is Metagross. Well, I got Meta as well. Again, maybe Mudkip, maybe. There's a few series I need to finish watching first before I start watching other ones. Apparently the idea with the Cute Charm Pokemon League is roughly 25. Yeah, that I did know. I did know about the Cute Charm thing, but it's also you do need to have the right secret ID number and the right ID number to have those odds. If you don't have, like, the ID numbers line up in the right way, it can actually be even harder to get the Cute Charm shiny. Specifically because, it forces away from them. Lady, Foxy, don't test me. Do not test me with that Mega Metagross bullshit. Do not test me with that. You know how much I despise that abomination. You know I despise Mega Metagross. And how much it deserves oblivion. Do not test me. What turn it now out? No. I say to thee, Mudkip, no. I am glad Ash is leaving. I am glad Ash is leaving the Pokemon anime for one reason. I prefer to the Yu-Gi-Oh style of character arcs, where a character is in the series for a time. Their character arc comes to an end, and then they can move on with their arc concluded, and it's like, they have finished. Like, their arc is done. And I like that, like, their arc is concluded And it's not like, oh, we need to constantly and unnecessarily bring them back in for things, so their character is literally walking in circles for 20 plus years at this point. It just feels more satisfying when, like, a character that you've enjoyed watching and following for years has that, like, level of finality, rather than, again, walking in circles for quite literally several decades. I like Meganium personally. That dude, that is how you get the timeout button. By lying about Talonlame. That is how you get the timeout button. Yeah, I did an SS about it. Giants only 17 hours of actual playtime, including the experience. Nice! Yeah, it's like, because that's the thing that I find so satisfying. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but I loved how, at the start of GX, you have, like, Jaden bumping into older Yugi. And older Yugi is the one who gives Jaden the Winged Karibo card. And then, it's like, it's like, that's Yugi! He's moved on! Because, like, the entire thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Was Yugi, you know, becoming more mature and able to, like, you know, not being as shy as he used to be and, like, able to, you know, stand up on his own. And the Pharaoh being able to move on and finally rest in the afterlife. So it was like, okay, just, like, they constantly kept, like, oh yeah, no, Pharaoh, you gotta come back. We still need you for stuff. Like, you still have unresolved things. Oh, Pharaoh, you still got unresolved. It wouldn't be as, like, as satisfying to see him literally get dragged out of the afterlife 10 times over. And that's kind of what the Pokemon series is with Ash, where it's like, he goes through a league. He loses to BS. He goes to learn more stuff. He loses to BS. He goes through learning. He loses to BS. And it's just constantly walking in circles. I'll be lurking, playing through Axel's fantasy. Nice! He's gone because his plot armor was not really. Like, Ash did have a lot of, like, legitimately clever moments throughout the course of the anime. My favorite one being the Heracross sleep talk. Like, one of my favorite parts of the entire anime was that sleep talk Heracross. Because, like, that's brilliant. This is a Pokemon whose main thing is putting other Pokemon to sleep. Okay, that's terrifying. But there's a move that lets you attack while you're put to sleep. And I have a Pokemon that is a bug type, which is super effective on dark. That is also a fighting type, that is also super effective on dark. If I teach it sleep talk, it can beat a dark type whose gimmick is putting Pokemon to sleep. That is one of my favorite moments, because, like, that is clever. That is a very clever moment. And it's like, I wish there were more moments of Ash being super clever like that. But nope, we get, oh, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. When it can't use Thunderbolt because Zekrom electrified it and it just can't do anything. Just imagine if Yugi digging up the Pharaoh's body. Exactly. That is literally how it would be, the same way. Just like, it's just not satisfying. I like that conclusion to the arc. Oh, that's hilarious. The Misty calling fur to ground type. I love it. It's like, I mean, to be fair, I could see how, I could realistically see for it being a ground type. If it wasn't locked into being the early game thing, if it wasn't, like, locked into being the early game normal rat, I could realistically see it being a ground type. Though one of my favorite things about Furret is, Furret actually learns Surf. I remember when Ash used Thunderbolt on an Onyx. To be fair, that dude, that actually makes sense. For those who don't know, I actually do study geology. You know, I study rocks. And that actually does make sense. See, water, of course, you know, water is normally non-conductive to electricity. It's only when, like, salt is dissolved in water that water is able to conduct electricity. A lot of rocks are made up of two things. Well, they're made up of a minimum of two things. They're made up of basically a combination of minerals. And minerals have, you know, are made up of ionic solids, occasionally. And applying, you know, water to that dissolves a little bit of that, which does make it capable of conducting electricity. And there also is a point where anything will conduct electricity. It's called the breakdown voltage. And, you know, because Ash's Pikachu was super duper duper charged, because of how much electricity, like, it was absorbing prior, because, you know, they were specially training, the water making so Onyx could no more easily conduct electricity, in conjunction with the absurdity of how much overcharged Pikachu was, let Pikachu achieve that breakdown voltage, allowing it to basically overcome the insulation of ground types. So, it's one of the few things in Pokemon that actually does make sense realistically. Because yes, I study rocks. Basically, big enough lightning bolt can make anything weak to electric is the best way of phrasing it, that dude. That is basically the simplest way possible to explain it. But yeah, it is possible for that to actually happen, so that actually does make sense. Again, weird, but it does make sense. Oh, you should see competitive rock nerd Maxis Mudkip. You should see me when I break out my sand teams. Alright? I legitimately did have the idea a couple of months back of making a video all about what rock type is every single, like, rock type Pokemon. I didn't do it because, like, not really. No one wanted it. Meta Brain wants that world ending. No, Mudkip can get away with that. That is something Mudkip can get away with saying, because he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. But yeah, we just keep making these great peanut butter sandwich. Nope. Do not laugh with water in your mouth. It will go down the wrong pipe. Hi, Casual. How you doing? Doors on the left. No, there's no door on my left. Well, then again, from, like, the perspective of the thing, the door is on my left, but technically the door is on my right. The door is technically to the right. Even though from here it looks to the left. Remember, mirrors are not cameras. Mirrors are weird, as are cameras. Yeah, so we went through about what, 50? We went through what? Yeah, 50 eggs before the sandwich ended. Yeah, we should be able to get through a bunch more shinies. We should be able to get through a bunch more eggs. So like 50 eggs per sandwich. Yeah, that's pretty good. We could definitely go through that. So that's almost 2 boxes. That's what? 3 boxes. Well, about 3.5 boxes. About 4 boxes per. About 2 boxes per sandwich. Okay. That's pretty good. It is a Tito. That was drinking water. Yes, I know, Foxy. It's happened to me, and I don't like when it happens because I cough, and it's like, no, I don't want to choke on water. I don't want to end up choking on freaking water. Because it's water. But yeah, not sure how long today's stream is actually going to end up being. Because, like, again, it's really, really late here right now. And, like, I'm kind of tired. Kind of knackered. Oh. Also, like, again, this is also kind of one of the issues of, like, streaming late in the day with how long I actually look at screens to edit videos. My eyes start hurting. So I was like, I'm gonna sleep. We've already shiny hunted Dunsparce. We've already shiny hunted Dunsparce. We actually have a spare Dunsparce, which we're actually trading away in the shiny giveaway in about 2 weeks. So we do not need to do any shiny hunts in inverted colors. The only time I would ever do an inverted color shiny hunt is back in Sword and Shield. That is the only way I would ever do that. Because that way I can have the sparkles effect. That was weird that the screen kind of like freaked out for a sec. I mean, the screen's freaking out and the same way my brain is freaking out right now. But again, guys, if you haven't done so, try doing something called actually, yes, Mudkip. I go running every day. Yeah, every day I actually go take my dog for a walk, and after that I take a jog around the loop. That I actually take the dog around for a walk. I don't like Legends, that dude. I am not a fan of Legends. I just do not enjoy climbing to the top of the tallest damn mountain I can find, hopping on Braviary, and making circles. I do not enjoy that, because that is a little bit... That's what playing Legends is. It's hop on Braviary and just make circles. And waiting for an audio cue. It's not actively looking. I mean, I also just don't really think Legends is a great game. Like, it reminds me a lot of Mr. Dungeon Sky. And at that point, why wouldn't I just go play Mr. Dungeon Sky? Like, Mr. Dungeon Sky is an overall, like, better game. So why would I play knockoff version of a game when I can just play the actual version of the game? Because it's a bad game. Because it was a glorified tech demo. He was like, I enjoy games with a little more content outside of catch this Pokemon 30 times, have this Pokemon use this move 40 times, evolve this Pokemon 5 times. And and you need to do that kind of grinding to actually progress the game. I don't really think that's it's not a very well done game. Like, it's a game where you are forced to grind. You know, a common gripe is that filling the Pokedex out for, like, the Shiny Charm is really not that enjoyable. And Legends is a game where the only thing to do is that Dex grind. Need today, non-Ditto holding Destiny Knot alongside a Ditto. The Ditto will only breed with the Destiny Knot. Simple. Everything. In all seriousness, it's the lack of actual battle, because I'm a big battle guy. Like, I enjoy battling. And it's a game where there are really no battles. Your boss battles are you throwing food at Pokemon. The battling in those fights it only means, okay, well, now the food fights do a little more damage. Which, I don't play Pokemon to throw food at Pokemon, I play Pokemon to catch Pokemon and battle Pokemon. The NPC battles, there's 3 NPC battles where they have more than 2 Pokemon in the entire game. That's the 2 people at the end of the game, and the Warden fight against Ingo. In post-game, there's the Volo fight, but that is after you beat everything. Progressing the story, you need to grind out the dex entries. You know, you need to go catch this Pokemon X number of times, use X move X number of times to go to the next areas. It follows, like, the exact same story beats as Mystery Dungeon Sky, which, why would I play a worse version, a more grindy version of Mystery Dungeon Sky when I can just go play actual Mystery Dungeon Sky? Nobody did it without the mods at the time of a box. Yeah, they did that probably for reasons of if you have a full party Pokemon, you don't have to change stuff out, which is actually a pretty good system. Legends. The thing is, the Shiny Charm is in every game, though. Like, the dex grinding in Legends is orders of magnitude more than the dex grinding in any of the other games. Because in every other game, you just gotta catch 1 Pokemon once. In Legends, you need to catch, like, every Pokemon multiple times, have them use certain moves multiple times. Yeah, he technically it's an 8 Pokemon fight. Yeah, like, that's what he's like, considering the Volo thing is, like, kind of not a good thing to include, because, 1, Volo fucking cheats. Greevil. Yeah, Greevil does the same thing. Greevil also fucking cheats. Like, Legends is a game where its impact was greatly exacerbated by its timing. You gotta remember, Legends Arceus came at a point where we were kind of in this mindset of, we want something new, we want something different. And we were willing to, like, accept anything new and anything different. And Legends came out with that. But the biggest indicator of that did not have staying power was that 2 months after Legends came out, we were all going back to Sword and Shield. Now that's like the biggest thing is like, yeah, no, Legends was great, but long term, people went back to Sword and Shield. You know, it was a good game for what it was. The thing is, it just doesn't really have, like, the staying power. It was, my friend Echo put it the best way. It's a great game you'll only play once. Every NPC that's not cheating. That's not cheating. That's actually what most endgame NPCs actually have in BDSP. Pretty much after, like, the 3rd gym, all of the major NPCs have competitive great teams. That is literally every major NPC in BDSP. The entire Elite Four. That's literally every single team. Yeah, because, like, we actually did, like, literally an entire review series, like, on difficulty analysis. All of the major NPCs in BDSP actually have effort value training and competitive grade hell items and movesets. So, like, that what they did with Cynthia is only magnified because her team is just, like, not monotype. Yeah, like, the only reason why it's, like, different with Cynthia's team is that her team is not a monotype. You can't just bring out 1 Pokemon and steamroll her. So it's just less pronounced with the other trainers. Yeah, exactly, Casual. All of them have that. The thing is, it's just significantly less noticeable because of the fact that when you're going up the other teams, they're all monotypes. So it's much easier to body. So when you get to Cynthia, well, it's the only one where her team is not a monotype, where it cannot basically be beaten by a single Pokemon, like even a single typing. So it's just more pronounced. More so, Chikorita, it's the base games they were based on were heavily flawed. BDSP is a fantastic improvement on the games. It's just that the games it's improving were not as great to begin with. It's so competitive that they have decorated moves like... They don't have moves like Snatch. I disagree that Legends is a great game. Again, it's very subjective. Again, a lot of people, they like it because, like, it's a very different game. And I think, like, that's really where the dividing line of, like, Legends being great comes from, is wanting something different, and whether different intrinsically is good, because it's a lot like Breath of the Wild. You know, Legends is a game that I do say has that Breath of the Wild syndrome, in that the heights the game has achieved in terms of, like, why people, like, you know, saying, like, it is the greatest game, it's this, is largely because people do want, like, a little bit of a breakup in the monotony that the series has kind of been putting out for years at this point. And that something new came along, and it revolutionized things, but it was vastly limited in other areas. So, the overshadowing of the flaws were because of the goggles that were applied by, like, we see new shiny. Grand Diamond, Shining Pearl aren't real. Truth, Mudkip. But yeah, Legends is one of those things, like, I've actually gone back and I've replayed Legends, and it really wasn't as, like, I enjoyed playing Legends the first time. I went back and I replayed it, like, a few months ago. It really wasn't that fun. You know, I forgot, like, how grindy it is to go fill out all those entries. Because remember, you do need to fill out those dex entries to get to a certain point in order to actually be able to progress things. Shiny Charm wasn't broken if the overall shiny is outside of radar. I don't think that's the case, but I think that BDSP never had a shot. Want something different, then go play with better Power Wash Simulator. Oh, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of... I mean, I don't think BDSP ever really had a chance. Because you gotta remember, Diamond and Pearl, like, are... Diamond, Pearl, and, like, Sinnoh kind of as a whole are games that are, like, put on this, like, unreachable pedestal of, like, these are the pinnacle of the series. Which is very nostalgia-goggled. And then remaking that, you'd never be able to capture that first-time experience that people had with those Sinnoh games back when it came out. Like, let's be real. Even if they made the Distortion World, even if the Distortion World was, like, fully rendered with the epic 3D, and you had, like, this epic atmosphere battle against Distortion World Giratina, it would never be able to give you that same impact of going into the Distortion World when you were, you know, 10, 12 years younger, playing Platinum for the first time, seeing Giratina just lunge at you and, like, out of the screen at the top of Spear Pillar, and going in there for the first time. Nothing could ever replicate that. Because you know it's coming now. You know you go into the Distortion World, you fight Cyrus, you fight Giratina. So that shock factor, that just the awe, the anxiety, the what the hell is going on now, it just isn't there. And something like that can never really be recaptured. 5. Scarlet Violet. I personally say Pokemon got Sonic treatment from Unova to Legends. What do you mean by the Sonic treatment? What's the Sonic treatment? You gotta remember, Casual, I have never played a Sonic game. I have literally no clue what that means. I would play Scarlet Violet. I would hands down play Scarlet Violet any day over Legends. Pick third option, Power Wash Simulator. What is it with you in Power Wash Simulator, Mudkip? What is with you in power washing? I mean, it's amusing. I'm just concerned. What is bad games despite is that worded correctly, casual? Not sure I follow. Let's see. Sonic treatment, gaming meaning. Let's look this up. The Sonic treatment. r/Sonic Catacog. What is the Sonic treatment? I need to see this. I must see what like this meaning is. Is it like an official term at this point? Meta, check what game I'm playing. E-leaders. Well, technically they are the best for annoying certain things. Also, they're very, very good for killing Kozuhuna. So, like, I'll allow it, because E-leaders are good for wrecking stuff in Salmon Run. Here's the fourth option, B-Simulator. Oh, B-Simulator. What the hell is B-Simulator? Again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Alright, the Sonic treatment. Some non-Sonic Sega games the other day. It was really fun. So most of this question is any non-Sonic Sega games that say received Sonic treatment, meaning a series of new games, maybe a 3D game with pals. What does he say? What the hell does Sonic treatment even mean? So, can you like elaborate more on like what the Sonic treatment like really means, casual? Because like I'm not sure I follow. 50. All right, got mediocre games. I wouldn't say Ultra Sun Ultra Moon was mediocre. I would say Ultra Sun Ultra Moon was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. Like, I heavily enjoyed the Alola games. Also, gotta remember, Let's Go was not made for us. Let's Go was a game that was made for the casual audience. It was made for people who... Let's Go was made for people who played Go or had not played a Pokemon game in years and was like a way of basically having a tutorial to re-ingratiate people into the community again. That's not exactly fair to Let's Go because its purpose was different. You know, that... You gotta remember the purpose of certain things. Like that's kind of the main thing you gotta remember, is Let's Go wasn't designed for us. Let's Go was designed for the Go audience. It was designed for, like, you know, the people who kind of got out of the loop. Which, for the purpose of what it is, it's actually a fantastic game for that. It's fairly simple. People who are not very familiar with Pokemon can actually pick up the game and actually get very acquainted with Pokemon relatively easily. It's just that us as, you know, experienced long-time players, we find it annoying and hand-holdy because we know all this stuff already. But for people who aren't familiar with the game, you know, like adults who've been out of the loop for probably 2 decades, they haven't played a Pokemon game in years... Or people who, you know, found Pokemon through Pokemon Go and want to explore the main games, but hearing new game, 700 Pokemon in the game is very overwhelming. It's very difficult for people to actually, like, enter that kind of, you know, series in a bit of a similar way that, like, there are people, you know, like me initially when I first, you know, heard about Legend of Zelda, I was like, I don't know if I want to, you know, get involved in the Legend of Zelda series because there's just, this game's a sequel to this game that has connections to this game that came out 20 years ago that ties into this game, and it's really this giant web of just interconnected stuff that it's very overwhelming for a new person coming in to be able to just get into without being completely bombarded by just everything. And Let's Go did a very good job of like, slowly easing people into that. Now, was it the most fun experience for the rest of us? No. But it wasn't meant for us. Hey, Latsuna, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I enjoyed Sword and Shield. I liked Sword and Shield. I will defend from the Sword and Shield slander. They have their faults, but I will defend them from the slander. You gotta remember, critics' ratings are almost never accurate. Like, critic ratings are comically incorrect in the vast majority of cases. I disagree on that, Casual. I enjoyed Generation 6. Gen 8 had its low points. I will not deny that. But I wouldn't say they were bad. I wouldn't say that the Gen 8 games were bad. The only real bad games I would say the Pokemon series ever had was like X and Y and the Gen 1 games, because they're so horribly broken. They're like borderline unplayable because they're just glitchy messes. It's literally a playable glitch. Again, you gotta remember that, dude. Ratings that critics give and the actual enjoyment of players are always two very different things. It's why some movies absolutely bomb, like, critic reviews, and yet people absolutely love those movies. It's the same with games. You gotta remember, the people who are rating video games, they're not gamers. You gotta remember, the people who are reviewing them are not gamers themselves. That's a very, very important thing to remember. I would disagree on that, Casual. I don't enjoy being bombarded with, remember this Pokemon exists, remember this Pokemon exists, remember this Pokemon exists, remember this Pokemon exists. Instead of, like, establishing why we should care about the new Pokemon the game added, it bombards you with, remember this thing exists, remember this thing exists, remember this thing exists. It basically goes out of its way to establish why you shouldn't care about it. Why you should care about the old stuff. Which is kind of not what a game should do. If a game doesn't respect itself to make itself the primary focus, I don't think that game deserves the respect as a game from anyone else. Could you see a Paper Mario Sticker Star good reviews? Exactly. That is exactly correct, Alex. They good reviewed Sticker Star. Again, critic reviews and audience reviews are almost always two different things. Like, a great example is, like, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like, critics gave that movie, like, shit tier ratings. The fans, they're Godzilla fans. They love the hell out of it. Because Godzilla fans go to a Godzilla movie to see giant fire-breathing dinosaur fight giant three-headed space dragon that shoots lightning bolts out of its face. And also something about a giant pterosaur monster and giant butterfly. But, like, You don't go for intricate, complex story, well-developed characters. You go to see giant things punch each other's lights out. And critics don't seem to understand that, which I find comically absurd. Those are weird, especially when hard critics that give it good games like do it rated because of lighting and stuff. Exactly. Again, that's the reason why, like, if an argument for a game being good or bad is based primarily around, like, critic reviews, that is a very bad basis. Because, like, game critics, unless they are, like, well-established gamers who, like, predominantly play that genre of game, I don't really think that there's a good argument for that because, like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, the people reviewing games are predominantly not gamers. Secret Star doesn't exist. I do remember Metagross existed. And it should be smelted down and stamped into freaking paperweights. Metagross should be converted into paperweights. Because that is all it is good for. Now, I wouldn't say they're good for doing that, because he just runs away from them at the speed of sound. But he just runs away from E-Leaders so fast you can't get a shot at him. Screw Power Wash Simulator. Mario. This is why we love you, Mudkip. This is why you entertain us. Yeah. Like, the only food critic I would ever take seriously is Gordon Ramsay. And, like, it's Gordon Ramsay. He literally does a show called Hell's Kitchen and, like, MasterChef, where he literally critiques people's food and rewards them if they do good. That is literally it. I've actually eaten at Hell's Kitchen before, so very, very good food. Game is absolutely freaking the hell out right now. What the absolute hell happened? Hello, Ghostface. Okay, game's having a freaking spaz attack right now. I think we're calling it a night. Because that does not bode well for our hero. We're gonna go on a raid. Who should we go raid? Let's go find someone to go raid. Kitchen Nightmares is an entertaining show, that dude. Gordon Ramsay is just an entertaining person to watch. Alright, who are we gonna go raid? You know what? Let's go raid. We're gonna go raid Game Shark Arc and Darrell Gaming, because they are doing a Kaizo Ironman race. So, I love to send the love. So we're going to go raid both of these wonderful, wonderful human beings because they are doing a race collab series. And as it is nice to do, you don't just raid one of them, but you send the love to both of them. See you guys next time. That's Rock and Rolla. Here are the links to both of them. We will paste the links twice. First two are going to be for Game Shark Arc. The second two are going to be for Darrell. Send the love, everyone. Send the love to the wonderful people. See you guys next time. That's Rock and Rolla. No.